And so I didn't want to appear nervous, so I just called and nobody answered the phone, and I couldn't figure out why was no one answering the phone. There was just Linda and Patrick, and I didn't think she took Patrick out. So finally, Louise, you were so nervous, and I was too, but I was trying not to show it, and we called Marcy, my neighbor upstairs, and she said, don't worry about anything. Linda stepped outside the door to get Mimi, our dog, and the door locked behind her. So that,
They had to go to the manager and get
Yeah,
a key.
but
Patrick's
everything's
inside, and they can see him through the window in his car seat.
yeah.
And, hey, Patrick, come here. I want to see him. We talked about the car seat. Come over here, sit with us.
Marcy.
Well, he was wasn't he in a little stroller or something?
No,
Look at
he
him
was
now.
in the baby bed.
6'3" tall, and
This
she
is
used
Ken
to
Louise,
babysit.
you know, Ken Louise.
Say hi to Kid Ken Louise.
Hello.
And then I remember,
The 30th.
the 47th
No, it's
wedding.
the 35th wedding
35th.
anniversary.
Y'all are old.
Oh,
You used to nuzzle Louise's neck, and she
Yes,
always
nut-
remembers,
yeah.
little neck nuzzler.
I was thinking about this on the way home from school the other day about the time that I brought half the neighborhood into your house for a glass of water. When we were about 6 years old, we were all riding our bikes around, and I said, well, let's stop in Miss Barker's and get a glass of water. And we came in, and you gave it to us, but I knew you weren't too happy with us.
then you used to mow their yard, and then Brent used to mow their yard, and they paid you a lot of money.
Okay.
Then I remember too, Ken, the time that, well, y'all were living in Monroe at the time, and we got the call in Washington that Doug had been so terribly, terribly injured. He was driving down the highway, and rather than turn right into your subdivision, he turned left to go across the highway to a convenience store, and a car just boom. And we really didn't know. Y'all were sitting there in the waiting room, didn't know if he was going to make it. And we're in Washington, had no idea. I remember we had a big, large volume parental meeting scheduled, and I had to call all the people and tell them that we were postponing the meeting because of Doug's terrible accident. And I remember that you read me a statement that I was to read verbatim to the various participants, and we both almost didn't make it through that statement because we were saying we just didn't know how Doug, if he was going to make it or not. But the whole community of Monroe and the School of Pharmacy over there rallied around you all and just loved you through that whole thing. And praise the Lord, Doug is one of the finest young men today. I don't think any residual signs, no lasting effects whatsoever from that horrible, terrible accident. So that's kind of a downside, but that we did kind of come through together.
Well, remember, on an up note, remember when we went to that cocktail party downtown?
Oh, was that funny?
You tell it.
Yeah, I tell you. Hey, we went to the a big cocktail party of the. Give me a saucer. I got to show.